Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap pre-market session for Thursday, July 24th, 2014. My name is Doug McKay, and I am the founder and head moderator for Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is not a commercial venture. It is a private organization. We are basically a self-organized learning environment. We have a private Skype room that's coming up on its 5th anniversary next month. And we come into these live sessions each morning at 8:45 Eastern, and I talk about my trade plan, my hypotheses for the day, and then we get into our trade levels and targets for the day. If you're interested in checking us out, send me a Skype request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Of course, you can send me an email to d.mckay@stealthtrader.com. Before we get going, I do have to do legals, so let's get that done. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate for the financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are fair. Education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence and your own trade plan. Okay, so each morning we start with the macro to micro, and we go through the key numbers. So if you are watching this on YouTube after the fact, you might want to skip ahead. We get into a routine to prepare ourselves for the trade day and look at the big picture, both in the key numbers and on the trends within the different time frames. So, of course, the big number is we've gone up overnight and made a brand new high up at 1985.75. So we have an all-time high put into the Globex, and this seems to be happening a lot, where we go up and place the all-time high in the Globex, and then the RTH have to go up and test it for themselves. So I am expecting this 1985 to be tested. Nothing really jumps out in terms of the other macro numbers, so let's just jump right into yesterday's intraday. We opened yesterday at 1973, and the Globex had a high at 80.25 and a low at 72.75. We opened auction in range at 1980. We broke the IB to the one side, the upside. We were looking for that continuation up to hit that 82.50. Our opening swing high was 81. Our opening swing low was 79.25 for a 1 3/4 point opening swing. Our initial balance high 81, initial balance low 75.75 for a 5 1/4 point initial balance. As you can see, all our intraday numbers were higher. Our 1230 number 80.25. Our RTH high 83.50, our RTH low 75.75, and our close higher at 81, and our VPOC shifted up again to 1982. 20-day ATR targets are ranges right now. Just over 11 for the RTH, just over 14 for the full session, and just over or just under 8.5 on the Globex. Our value area high was higher, and our value area low was higher at 82.50 and 79 for 3.5 point value area. We did do a make and break on the initial balance at 9:31 Central, and our volume was light yesterday, just under 1 million for the RTH session, and just over 1.1 for the RTH. It was kind of a muted grind all day up, but we got everybody long in the morning, and we said to stay long into that 82.25. So hopefully y'all made some good money. Right now, just taking a look at the daily pivots. 1979. Our resistance is just above us at 1985.50, and then resistance 2 at 89.90. I call that 1990 personally. Weekly pivot is, resistance is 85.25, and we went up and tested that. And then, of course, the resistance 2 on the weekly is up just that basically Centennial number at 2,000. Our current high for the full session, 1985.75. Our current low for the full session, 1976.75. That gives us a 20-day ATR target for the full session up at 1991, I would call it, 1991, and then low at 1971.50, right near that CHEN at 71.50. Looking at the news, we had unemployment claims. They were the lowest since 2006. Didn't really give us a big pop, though. I was surprised. I thought we'd go up and retest that 85.75 with such great news. Of course, the big news will be the new home sales at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, and then we've got natural gas storage. We do have well, we just have it? We just had it, so I didn't even see what the flash manufacturing PMI was, but we'll take a look at what the market did in a second. Going over to the trends to take a look at the trend macro to micro. Well, there's a beautiful trend, best you see anywhere, and it's just still strong on the monthly. Good slope, good separation, prices paralleling the 9 EMA very nicely. Trend is very much intact on the monthly. On the weekly, not much different. You've got that tech gap close, and you've got continuation of the trend moving up. Good slope separation on the weekly. On the daily, same thing. We had that down move on Thursday, and then right back up, took it all back on Friday, and from there we continue the trend, and we're getting slope and separation on the daily as well. Going over and taking a look at the geometric chart. I took off the opposing downward sloping fork because it wasn't relevant anymore. We've broken out of it. You can see I adjusted the short-term upward sloping fork. We have an energy point up here at 2,000. I still think we're going to see this. I think they don't want that 2,000 not to be tested. Doesn't mean we're going to get there right away. I've got it coming in. Looks like it's due to hit in around the 6th of next month. Is that right? Looks weird. I'm getting some weird values here on this chart. Anyway, we do still have that energy point up there. Of course, right now we are just above the center line of the short time frame upward sloping fork. A move up today to test the upper line of the intermediate fork will take us up to that 1990, and that's our 20-day ATR target up there. So look for that. If we come down and test the center line of the short time frame upward sloping fork, brings us down into that 1979, 75 area. So I mean, there's not much more that this is showing us information, so not really too relevant other than those two numbers and the fact that we've got that energy point still above us and a test of that 2,000. Let's go and take a look at the intraday trends coming into this market, see if we've got trends going on the intraday time frames. You can see that, remember, we've got that head and shoulder pattern that we are tracking right now with the measured move either to 92, depending on where you put your neckline, 92 or 98, and it has not been invalidated. You've got a good slope and separation on the 4-hour, a little bit of a technical gap. I am looking for a little bit of a pullback here after going and making that all-time high, but it's all going to be very relevant on whether or not we get back inside of yesterday's range and value. Going to the 30-minute, you can see we have a trend going. We've got good slope and separation. There's a naked cross down here though on the 30-minute. So and that's down at that 1979, 1980 level. So we could come down here and close that naked cross, but currently right now we're above the 9 EMA and outside of yesterday's range and value. So the trend is still intact on the 30-minute. Going down to the 5-minute. 5 minutes, a little bit different story. We're consolidating up here after going up and making an all-time high. You got quad top up here. I still think this is somewhat of a weak high, and the fact that we put it into the RTH makes me believe that we'll test it today and probably put in a new all-time high once we get into the RTH session. So let's go take a look at the big picture. I can get the right chart up here. So we're above the value area of this microcomposite. We had the gap up down here, and then we've just been stair-stepping our way up, and you know, the microcomposite that I've got going back to the 27th of May, the value area high was up at that 75. It's now shifted slightly to 76. And we've broken out of that value, the longer term value area, and we're currently trading. And we came up here above it, and we accepted value in the last 2 days. The 2-day microcomposite VPOC is at 1978.75. So they've accepted value higher outside of the value area, the long-term value area. So we're in price discovery. We go in and we made a brand new high at 85.75. So the idea is to get that continuation up to that 92. There's another measured move, the 127 fib extension at 1987.50. That's going to be our first target above the all-time high. So mark that down in your journal. But you know, we've got a naked close right now at 1981, and we're likely going to have to come down to pick up buyers. And the first target I'd be looking for is at 78.75. A key level we want to stay above is the 76.75, because we break below that, we're likely going to get back inside of this value area, and the shorter time frame microcomposite VPOC in this balance zone going back to the beginning of the month is here, down here at that 1967.50. So we have to, you know, be conscious of the fact that, you know, this rally is weakening on low volume, and we might have to come down and find some buyers with more conviction. So let's go ahead and look at what happened overnight. You can see again, you know, we came down to that 79, that 2-day microcomposite VPOC, down to that 79 area overnight, and the buyers stepped in and didn't quite get to the value area high of the larger term microcomposite at 76, but we tested 76.75. Buyers, you know, came in, held us up, and moved us higher, and went in and put a new all-time high. So currently, as I speak, our overnight high is up at 85.75. Our overnight low is down at 76.75. And you can see that our range from yesterday is sitting right on top. We rejected the value area high of the microcomposite, you know, longer-term microcomposite, and then we just rallied the rest of the day. Let's just take a quick look at that. I meant to do this earlier. You know, it's always good to review, you know, what our analysis was. So, you know, we talked about this this level. You can see that, you know, the value area high from the prior day was breached. We went down and tested our value area low from the prior day. That was our other trade area, and if we held that, we were looking for a continuation and then a breakout above that 1980.50 up to that first target at 1982.25. We got up there, pushed through it a bit, and then sort of just found at price acceptance there. They ran out of inventory. Where did they come down? They come down and tested the value area high from the prior day, which was then becoming the developing value area low for the current day. We get a beautiful Mr. Sneaky here, and they rally it back up to that 1982 and try to hold 82 into the close. They ran out of inventory again, and they just rotated back down, tested the VWAP and the range high from the prior day. But they held the range, okay, and they did not break inside and give a sell-off. And then overnight, they did take it back down and tested it again and bounced off that value area high. Buyers stepped in and held at 79, and then we just sort of grinded our way up into new all-time highs. So currently trading right now, we can get rid of our overnight VPOC. Let's just put that in. We could get a VPOC shift here, so just watch for this VPOC shift. I think this is going to be important. If we do get the shift, then my my main trade hypothesis of going up and breaking that 1985 increases. I think we're probably going to have to come down. I'm looking for a rotation down to test the value area of the prior day and close the gap and the naked VPOC down there, even possibly coming down to this 1979 area, because that's where the VPOC is overnight. So I'm going to put the overnight VPOC currently, because it's right there at yesterday's value area low, and we have to wait to see if it does shift. Now we're going to open up outside of range and outside of value. And so, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we could get initiative buyers stepping in and just going up and taking out that all-time high at 85.75. But more likely is I think we're going to get responsive sellers on the open, and we're going to come down and test this 83.50. 83.50 is going to be where I would look to get short or get long off of. I'm really not going to try to fade anything above this, and I just think it's dangerous. So I'm looking for a break of a test of the 83.50 and a break lower. Of course, if we get inside of yesterday's range, you can see that the CHVN is down here at 82, and that's basically just below the value area at 82.50. So I'm going to use 82.50 as the first area to get scaled, but I'm really looking for a move down. I don't think the value area is going to be, I don't think we're going to find responsive buyers down at the value area with the VPOC from yesterday right there at 82. So I'm expecting a continuation down to 82, but be safe, get scaled with the break of 83.50 before you get down to 82.50, and then look for them to continue lower, and our main target inside of range and inside of balance will be at the close, the naked close from yesterday at 81. And then once we're inside of value from the prior day, I'd be looking for the destination trade, the 80% value area play to come into effect. And we've got the midpoint at 79.75, and we've got the open just above it, but I really think that 79 overnight VPOC, if it doesn't shift, gives us a good target down to the value area low, and I'd be using that to look for responsive buyers inside of range and the 80% destination. Of course, if we break that 79, then we've got the 2-day microcomposite VPOC there as well. So I'm expecting responsive buyers to step in it, but if they don't, then we've got a good target down to the overnight low at 76.75 and the range low just below that, a point lower at 75.75, and that would be the main target, because you've got the 76. It is 75.75. I thought it was 76. 75.75 on the microcomposite value area high. So that would be a move to test that, and then below that, you've got the naked close down here from. Go ahead, Howard.
Yeah, Doug, I'm showing the overnight VPOC at 84.
So it already shifted. Okay. So we'll take the overnight VPOC and move it up. Can you do it down 84 even?
84 even.
Okay. Can you do a download just to make sure?
I did one, just prior to starting homework.
Okay, great. So we do have the shift. Okay, so this, this is bringing value higher yet again, and they're likely to, hold up in the upper distribution from the prior day. But it doesn't really change the fact if we break the low value at the 79 that we should come down and test the value area high and the range low from the prior day. The microcomposite value area high, this line right here. Below the microcomposite value area high, you've got a first target below range, and inside of the longer term value down here at 74.50, and then we've got that gap range up here at 73.75. So you want to get short and get funded below this trade level, but really the target for me is going to be back down to this 1971.25. 1971.50 area. You've got a naked VPOC at 71.25. It's the CHVN. It's the former microcomposite where they tried to VPOC where they tried to hold value before we fell down and went down to pick up buyers at that 52.75 on that Thursday. So this is really going to be my target here. I'm just going to front run it, up here at 71.75. And then we got a couple other, you got a naked close and a naked VPOC down here. But in between, you've got the CLVN and a microcomposite value area high from the 3-day balance. When they went down and picked up those buyers, they accepted value here at 64.25, and the value area high for that is right there at 70.25, which is one tick above the key CLVN. So I'll be using 70 as a trade level, and then a break below that. I'm looking for a move back down to the microcomposite VPOC, going back to the beginning of the month here at that 67.50. They came up here and accepted value and then got a breakout. So, and it's right in front of this this naked close at 66.50. But it will be my target, my extended target to the low side. And then, of course, just below that, you've got 66.50 and the 63. There is that CLVN right here at 65.25, so I'd use that as a trade area as well, and looking to see if we get responsive buyers. And then you've got below that is the 64.25 microcomposite VPOC for the 3 days when we fell out of balance, but really it's 63.75 naked VPOC that I'm looking for. And then a key level that we want to make sure that we hold above, because I think if we get below the 62, then I think we're going to come all the way back down to this 52.75 again, and probably even lower. But I'm not expecting, this would be my extended move to the low side, 62. All right, so that's what I'm looking at on the ES, and we're currently coming in inside of testing the range high again, so we'll have to watch this before we close the session. But again, I'm looking for a move down to this 82 level to find buyers with conviction. Going over to the Russell. All right, so let's just bring up the my hypotheses for the Russell, and we'll do a quick read on those. I was up early this morning. If I can find it. Oh, here we go. So for those that are not in the room, this is the actual chat room. So the last couple of days we've had a fairly tight range in the Russell. 10.7 points and 9.4 points, and we've crept up and we're holding value inside the upper microcomposite value area. That's that. I put that chart in 2 Sundays ago where we had the distribution zone, then the accumulation zone, and then the distribution zone, where the value areas were pretty much overlapping each other on the distribution zones. And the value area low on that is 1950. 30. We are above the composite low volume node, the CLVN at 5610. This is a key level to hold today. If they could hold above this, the 10-day microcomposite value area high is at that 5960. Remember, that was our target yesterday at 1159.10. That we were looking to hit. We went up and hit 1159.40, I believe, was our high yesterday. When I wrote this earlier, we were trading 57.20. I'm not sure where we're trading right now, but we can go take a look in a minute. If we hold the 56.10, look for the continuation up to the 59.10 and a move up to the test the microcomposite value area high at 1159.60. Since we've been coiling and accepting value higher, we have a decent probability to have a breakout day today. Above 5610, I'm looking for a possible move up to that 6550 composite high volume node and back up into the main balance for the longer term microcomposite that goes back to 0606 at that 1168.30 and possibly go and close the gap at 70.30. We get into an upward trend, the target above would be the CLVN at 76. This is really where I think the resistance is, and this would be within the ATR range. But if we do get a breakout day, I'm looking for extended targets up at the CHVN at 1178.20 and the key level above us, which is the microcomposite value area high from that distribution zone up at 1180. Of course, if we can't hold 1156.10, then I'm looking for a move down to the 2-day balance at 1154.50. This puts us inside of yesterday's value area, and we're likely to go in and close the naked VPOC at 1153.60 and the naked close at 1153.10. The 10-day microcomposite right now, okay, in this balance area, the smaller balance area is down at 1152.70. And then back inside that value, we have to consider a move down to test the value area low from yesterday at 1151. And the all-important number, okay, is that 1150, 30. And that's right by yesterday's low at 1150. And then if we can't hold inside of the longer distribution value area, then I'd be looking for us to move down back into that accumulation zone. And the first targets below is the CHVN at 47.60 and the 3-day microcomposite where they found buyers last time we fell out of that balance is down at 1142.60. But the key line in the sand still remains the same from 2 weeks ago. This whole time we've been trying to get outside and stay above the accumulation value area is the 1136.80. That's the CLVN and just above the value area high of the accumulation zone. We get back in there, I think we're going to go down. We went to the 1123.80 overnight on that Thursday push down. We didn't quite get to the 1120. The next time we get into that accumulation zone value area, I'm expecting a move down to that 1120, 1116.40. Remember, 1116.40 is the microcomposite VPOC of the accumulation zone, but more importantly, it is the composite VPOC, or the most traded price, going all the way back to October the 9th, 2013. And then I expect us to, chop around in that area for a while and go and refer to that chart that I put up that Sunday. First target below the 36.80, look for 33.10, 2670 CLVN, but there's not much to hold us up this time, and I think we move down to that 1120, 1116. But remember, we do our if-then-that strategies to know where we're going to trade, how we're going to trade. Don't trade what you think, trade what you see, and that is the Russell. And currently right now, where are we trading on the Russell? Currently right now we're still holding above that 1156.10, and the VPOC, Globex VPOC is right there at 57.70. So that 56.10 I think is going to be significant. You can see we've got a LVN overnight at the 56.70, and you've got the value area high from the prior day at 56.90. So back inside of that, I think we test the CLVN at 56.10, and then if we break that CLVN, look for them to go down and hit those numbers and inside of value from yesterday. Take a quick look at gold. Well, we came down and we've hit our first target below overnight. We pushed through a little bit down to the low overnight at 1295.20. Didn't quite get back to that, 1294. Remember, 1294, 1293 area was where the composite VPOC, and this composite goes back to 2008. This is where it shifted from. It was up until this day right here, I believe, the composite VPOC was down at 1293. So we're starting to play ping pong between the two. If we come down here again and test it and trade a little bit more down here, I think we're going to see that composite VPOC shift back down at 1293. But right now we've got two key levels. We've got 1300, of course, and the CLVN at 1299.90, but the level that I'd be trading would be this one right here at 1305.40. It shifted down again from that 1306. 1305.40, above it, you got a really nice trade back towards the composite VPOC and the microcomposite of the microcomposite VPOC of the level of the balance going back to 0620. So this is, in between the 13 and 05. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of edge there, because you can't lean too much against this 1300 because you've got that 1298 just below it, and below 1300s in the 1200s, I really think we're going to drift back down here to find buyers down here at this 1293, 1294 area. So really, the safe trade, and that's always what I will always point you guys towards, is the 1305.60. Above that, you got a nice long into 1315.90. Just make sure you get funded before you get to that 1308 level. But if we go up there and reject it again, they're likely to come back down and test the 1300s again with possible continuation down to the 1294. But in the in the 1200s, I wouldn't even look to get long until that 1294, and we're likely to come down here and test the lower side of the balance around that at the 1289.20 as well. Even possibly come back down here if we still see some weakness down to this 1273, 1274 level, this naked microcomposite VPOC where they held value after going down to that 1242 level, which was, that was our short target when we fell out of the 1300s. We said we'd have to come down here likely to the 1242 level. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at in gold. Take a quick look at where we are in the Renko. See how that fits with our levels. That's the TF. I didn't want that one. So currently right now, let's bring this up. The center line is at that 1980 level, just below our target at 81 at CHVN, like one tick below, 80.75. If we hold it, a move up to test the upper Keltner is going to give us a new high at 86.50. More likely that first target. And I forgot to mark my targets up above here. Sorry. The target fib extension is that 87.50. And then we have that 90 as a 20-day ATR target to the upside. What was it? ATR 20-day full session 1991. And of course we have the 92.25. So we got two targets up here. That's that measured move on the inverted head and shoulders, but it's also, depending on where you put the neckline, it's up there as well at 1998. And then again, I'm not putting any trade levels up here because if you're not long, into the all-time high, I'm not going to try to fade a move to the upside today. I want to get long and stay long if we hold above the 83.50 range high. If we do break below the Keltner center line, a move down to the lower line, by the time we get there, it'll probably be right at that 75.75. Which is that microcomposite value area high that we need to hold above to continue with this price discovery and test of new highs. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. And as always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Go ahead and put the chart up.